Thank you to everyone for joining us here today on the traditional territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Semiahmoo, Katsi, Coquitlam, Kwantlen, and Kukite, and Tsawwassen First Nations. My sincere thanks to our federal partners, Minister Gary Anandasangaree, Secretary of State Ruby Sahota, and Minister of Justice and Justice Minister Sean Fraser for their partnership and dedication to strengthening safety and justice for all Canadians. Thank you as well to BC's Attorney General Nikki Sharma for her continued collaboration and support. I'd also like to acknowledge the local government leaders who have been such strong partners in our work. Her Worship Brenda Locke, Mayor of Surrey, His Worship Ross Siemens, Mayor of Abbotsford, His Worship George Harvey, Mayor of Delta, and Her Worship Megan Knight, Mayor of White Rock. Thank you for your leadership and for your tireless work that your municipalities have done to support victims and strengthen coordination between law enforcement. I'd also like to recognize a number of federal members of parliament and provincial MLAs who have joined us today. Their advocacy and collaboration has been critical to ensuring that our communities have the resources that they need. This morning, we had very productive conversations, and I can tell you that at all levels of government and at our policing partners, we have the same goal. This is to stop extortion threats that are threatening our communities, to support the victims of extortion threats to the best of our ability and to keep them safe. To be as transparent as possible about these investigations without compromising them, and to see criminals responsible for these despicable crimes held to account. Over the past number of months, we have been working diligently here in BC with our policing partners, federal and local governments, to tackle the extortion issue, and I am pleased to say that we are making meaningful progress. Today's trilateral meeting was about alignment of our approach in confronting these extortion threats head on, while also ensuring that people who have been targeted by these senseless crimes have the supports that they need to be safe. The BC Extortion Task Force also provided an update on the extortion investigations. These crimes that we are seeing are deeply troubling and a threat not only in BC but across Canada. Extortionists prey on the fear as their primary weapons, and they want people to feel vulnerable and isolated and reluctant to come forward. We cannot let this happen. Confronting this issue takes an all-hands-on-deck approach, as you see here today. And we need to work with our partners, continue to work with our partners, and to those with lived experience to strengthen our efforts. We know that more needs to be done to break the cycle of fear and end the intimidation of violence that is impacting families and businesses in our communities. With more on the actions that the federal and provincial governments are taking to tackle extortion, I'd like to invite Premier Eby to offer a few remarks.
Thanks, Nina. Thanks for joining us here today. I want to thank all of our partners in law enforcement who are here, members of the task force, federal elected officials. Very good to see you, partners in this work, and municipal government leaders. It's great to see the mayors here as well. You can see here what the reality is on the ground. We are united and working together to ensure that everybody who has been affected by these extortion threats gets the response that they deserve, gets the supports that they need, and that the individuals behind these crimes are arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. That is the shared goal that we all have here, disrupting, preventing, and ending this threat to our community. Today's session was an excellent opportunity for us to update each other on the work we've been doing, to ensure that we are aligned, sharing information, and working as a unified team on this number one priority for all of us. Ensuring that communities are safe, that families are safe, that business owners are safe in every community in this province is at the heart of all of us that are doing this work. One of the key pieces of feedback we've had from families and individuals who are affected, they want more information. They need additional support. They feel scared. And so the federal government, along with the provincial government, have each put in $500,000 to improve victim services for people affected directly by these heinous crimes. An additional $4 million from the federal government for a task force to chase down those gangsters that are involved in drug activity south of the Fraser, because there is a close connection between the gangs involved in extortion and the gangs involved in criminal drug dealing in these communities as well. This team will assist local police in working across borders and boundaries and taking a regional approach to ensure that these gangs are arrested and to recognize that they don't pay any attention to the boundaries between communities for their illegal activities. During the session, we engaged in a number of different issues. I want to thank everybody for being frank and open. We have a shared anxiety about the need for the community as a whole to stand together, that we don't let this divide us as a community, that we stand together as British Columbians, Canadians, and demand and insist that we do not allow these crimes to divide us. We also recognized around the table that all of us have a part to play in ensuring strong communications between each other so that everybody understands what's happening, including sharing as much information as possible with victims of these crimes so that they know and they have confidence about the fact that police are taking this very, very seriously and that important work is being done. I'd like to pass it over to the federal minister, Minister Anandasangaree, for his comments.
Thank you, Premier, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I had the opportunity this morning to meet with several individuals who were directly impacted by extortion, and I want to tell them, as well as all those who have been going through a very difficult set of issues relating to extortion, that we're hearing you, we're with you, and we will make sure that we put all of our collective resources into action to ensure not only your safety and security, but safety and security of all those in British Columbia and across Canada. Our discussions this morning brought together leaders from all orders of government. Together, we examined the current landscape of extortion in BC, enforcement challenges, and the critical role federal, provincial, and local agencies, including those part of the BC Extortion Task Force. We heard firsthand from victims, community leaders, and business representatives about the impacts of extortion. Building on this work, we are taking concrete steps to disrupt the criminal networks behind these threats, to help police crack down on organized crime and the illegal drug trade in British Columbia. We're creating a new regional integrated drug enforcement team. This team will bring together police from different agencies and border officers to work side by side in one location. By sharing information and resources, they'll be able to act faster and more effectively. This is part of our broader border plan, and we're investing $4 million over 4 years to make it happen. But we know that enforcement alone isn't enough. We also need to support those who have been targeted and tackle crime before it starts. That's why I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada is providing British Columbia with $500,000 over 2 years through Justice Canada's Victims Fund for additional victim service and community outreach workers to assist the BC Extortion Task Force. This investment with matching funds by the province will strengthen victim services and expand community outreach in the Lower Mainland, particularly in Abbotsford and Surrey. And we're not stopping there. We're also investing $1.5 million in the Yo Bro, Yo Girl Youth Initiative, an organization that works closely within the South Asian community. It will open a youth engagement hub in Surrey to give young people access to mentorship, job training, counseling, and real opportunities while helping them stay away from gangs and organized crime. To those impacted, you're not alone. Your local police and RCMP are here to help, but they need to know when intimidation is happening so they can help keep you safe and stop these threats. If you're approached, whether in person, by phone, email, or any other means, do not engage, do not pay. Instead, contact Crime Stoppers or your local police right away. Reports can be made anonymously, and tip lines like Crime-Stoppers are available in multiple languages, so you can use the language you're most comfortable with. Taking this step helps police investigate and lay charges against offenders. You will be supported. Meeting extortion demands will not make it stop. It will only lead to more attempts. In addition to today's summit, we're undertaking a number of initiatives that will help tackle extortion both directly and indirectly. To bolster enforcement, the BC RCMP has committed additional resources to the BC Extortion Task Force. The CBSA, represented by Nina Patel, launched investigations into a number of foreign nationals who may be inadmissible and has already removed individuals from Canada as a result. Our government is also investing in community-based crime prevention initiatives in cities across Canada, like the funding were announced today. These targeted programs address the causes of crime, helping to prevent gun and gang violence while supporting vulnerable communities facing targeted threats. It is crucial to invest in community-based solutions to prevent gun and gang violence before it starts. We're also allotted $390 million over 5 years to support provinces and territories with prevention programs and law enforcement initiatives through the Initiative to Take Action Against Gun and Gang Violence, and $250 million through the Building Safer Community Funds. Surrey received $3.96 million as part of this investment. In addition, our $1.3 billion border plan, together with proposed border security legislation and criminal justice reforms, will equip law enforcement with stronger tools to fight organized crime. These measures will enhance intelligence sharing, strengthen law enforcement capacity, and disrupt the flow of illicit money that fuels them. Finally, I just want to acknowledge all the law enforcement agencies once again, including Commissioner Larkin, Senior Deputy Commissioner Larkin from the RCMP. We all have a right to live and work in safe communities, free from threats and intimidation. One of the gentlemen I met this morning said all he wants to do is have a peaceful night at home. That's not a lot to ask. And our responsibility is to make sure not only this individual, but all those across British Columbia and Canada are able to do that. And we all have to do our part to ensure that this happens. Thank you.
Today's summit was a very successful one. It was good to have all partners sit around and discuss how we can be better coordinated. To the victims of extortion, I want to say that we've heard you, just as Minister Anandasangaree said. There are victims across this country. We are taking this very seriously. It is a Canadian issue, and we are treating it as such. It is important for us to coordinate, figure out where the gaps are, and I believe you see with everyone standing here today that we are coordinated, and we will find those that are involved in these extortions. A lot of progress has already been made, and I want to thank all the law enforcement that is here today. We are arresting, we are dismantling, disrupting these criminal organizations, and where needed, also making removals. And so to those that are involved, they should be warned that this is a serious matter. In terms of Minister Attorney General Sean Fraser, he participated in today's event as well, and also mentioned that there are many pieces of legislation that I want to reiterate to all the media here today that are in the House of Commons that also address this specific issue of extortions, which will make it a lot tougher to get bail. It will make sentences even longer, meaning that it will be mandated that judges should consider consecutive sentencing when these cases arise. There are other measures that have been tabled in the House of Commons that will provide law enforcement with tools like lawful access measures that will better help them in their investigation. So I also urge all Canadians to speak to their elected officials and to make sure that we can get all of these pieces of legislation passed as quickly as possible through Parliament so that this approach can be even more effective in the days and weeks to come. So thank you so much for being here today. And I am going to pass it over to the Extortion Task Force.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Premier, ministers, MPs, MLAs, mayors, local leaders, for the opportunity for local, provincial, and federal law enforcement to sit down with you at this unprecedented summit and go through what we are doing to combat the extortion issue within British Columbia and tell you what we're doing and listen to you and what needs to be done more. To the victims of these heinous crimes, the role of the police, every police leader here at every level, be it federal, provincial, or municipal, your safety and security is number one to us. We work around the clock and continues investigations to ensure your safety, up to and including at 7 o'clock this morning when the task force executed search warrants and made arrests. It goes around the clock. To these people that are orchestrating these heinous crimes, we will find you, we will arrest you, and we will put you before the courts where you'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Make no mistake on that. So I just want to assure everybody the goal of the task force here is to make sure safety and arrest to stop this is done in the most expedient manner possible. Thank you.